Hey everybody, it is the Quantum Show. Welcome back. Thanks for coming by. As usual, let me get a sound check, please. Sound check, please. Let me know if I sound okay. I'm going to be reading the comments now to make sure the sound check is right because I have no feedback on my end except you guys. Who do we got in the chat during the sound check? Tim Stafford, Lynn, Samantha Moore's the cat. Hey, Cindy, Raven. Okay, I think is that everybody so far? Yeah, I think that's everybody so far. So sound check, sounds great. Okay, I see it now. That's the kind of lag I'm dealing with. And sorry for the low frame rate. It's the way it is. Let me get that banner off the screen. Okay, last week, as everybody knows, I got sick. I got real sick. It was more than I expected. I had not been that sick since I was a little kid, or rather, since I was in the army and got this massive infection. But hey, Zach. So I'm going back over the topic of energy healing because we went there, but we didn't get very far. Such is just the way of. I even gave myself some notes. I ran out of the regular tablet. I'm on the backup. Got to go to Dollar Tree. So, yeah, energy healing. Now, I am not a doctor. Okay, I am not a doctor. Do what your doctor says, but whatever. Okay, and take your meds. Follow the plan. Do what your doctor says because I am not responsible for that stuff. I'm responsible for your energy. Okay, I'm not even responsible for that because it's not my energy. It's yours. So you are responsible for your energy, how you interpret and how you execute things. So that being said, first you've got to know something's going on. Okay, know there's a problem. That right there is a big topic. Knowing, hey Diane, welcome back. Knowing that there is a problem. So you have to have a baseline of what is healthy for you. If you're eating right, if you're not, if you're drinking too much, if you're taking pills, good or bad, medical or not, I recommend don't do that, right? Because it wrecks your vibe. I mean, it wrecks your vibe. It takes so long to get everything back once you wrecked yourself, right? But you got to know that there's something going on. And I will refer to our Keith on this. Something you want to change. Is there a reason you want to change it? This is all of this stuff is for like muggle people, okay? We in the witchy, we know about this stuff. We've known about this stuff for years and years. So I'm sharing what I've learned about how to sense yourself and fix yourself and become what is it? Actualized as much as possible. Okay, a lot of it starts and ends here, and then you can go from here. This is the start point, and this is you. Here. That's you. Okay, so you got to know there's a problem. Are you happy with the way things are going on with your health? Okay. Next, now that's a big part of it. I got notes right here, so we can go over this in the panel if anybody wants to. Now, the next part is connecting with yourself. A lot of people think that, or it could be talked about that connecting with self needs to come first. But normally you don't want to connect with yourself too deeply unless there's something wrong. So, yeah, connect with yourself. Is that meditation? Is that a cup of coffee? Is that raking the yard, sweeping the floor, whatever, just something to get you connected to yourself so you can say, How's everything working? How do I feel? Am I hot? Am I run down feeling? Because I wasn't doing that, and it was something I needed to do, and it's something I knew better about last week. So connect with yourself, observe yourself, and let your body talk to you. Got an ache or pain, or a burning, or prickly feel, or something, anything like that, right? Know that you can do this, and that you need to do this in order to maintain a healthy sense of self. That, yeah, okay. Maintain a healthy sense of self, that you are in communication with you, right? Next thing is our tools. For me, tools are crystals and metals, right? That's for me. Tools are crystals and metals. Now, I have a setup right now, and it includes several people, a crystal network. And that's something else I want to talk about too, is crystal communication. All right. Hey, Joe, welcome back. So I like to use a crystal network to give and take energy from, but I'm always energizing it. And I have it energizing from reality, from the now, the here, the everywhere, into that crystal, constantly like a dial tone of healthy energy going out to everybody. Okay, and pretty much everybody's on it. If you want to be on it, you can just say you want to be on it, and it'll find you. That's how the quantum works, kinda. If you want to find it, you'll find it. If you don't want it, you don't want it. But the thing is, you got to actually want it, and it's hard to actually want something when you don't know what it is and you're not connected with yourself. See, it all is relevant. So, got metals, right? Metals and crystals and metals. That's the crystal network. Metals, metals. A lot of this stuff is, if you want them to work, they will work. If you don't think they'll work, they won't work. That is how it works for us humans. Okay. Funny little story. I was convinced for years and years that I could run uh, on my car, the other room. I'm listening. Uh, okay, I was convinced. Now this is manifestation, kind of, sort of, right? I was convinced that you could take your car, where you had a battle line in front, you kept tuning up tires, getting on one side, right? Put them on the back, and it'd be good for another 2-3 years. I was great with that for years, and it worked until someone educated me about wear patterns. And then all of a sudden, guess what? They stopped lasting that long. Right? This stuff, it's manifestation, right? I got so many examples of that where things shouldn't work the way they work, the way they are working, only because you believe in it. Only because I believe in it. And the metals are conductors, okay? They kind of like tune in. Every metal has a different tune to it for different things, more so than the stones or crystals, because metals are refined. All right, you don't have a mixture of things in metals like you do in a stone, in a crystal. A crystal, yes, is a crystal growth structure. Okay, there's usually something impure, that not impure, but makes it not pure, like pure quartz. Okay, those are relatively easy to come by, but there you got rose quartz, you get smoky quartz. Well, those are things that got into the crystalline matrix. Not so much for metal. Okay, metals are more refined than that. Crystals are great. Crystals are awesome. I will never say a bad thing about crystals, but metals are more. I'd say pinpoint, okay? And they are more limited, but they work and they're pretty, you know? Rings, uh, uh things you wear around your neck, things you wear on your neck, um, pendants, bracelets, everything. Pins on your clothes. Those are all good and they help. Copper is a good one. Gold, silver, copper, zinc. You won't I don't know how well you'll find zinc, but it's a metal and it works, right? Magnesium. Though be careful with these things. Some of these things. Some of these things are quite unstable. Magnesium and don't put magnesium and aluminum together. Don't do it. Okay, just don't do it. And now, okay, those are some of the tools. I prefer to use the crystals with a little bit of metal, right? I prefer the crystals because neat thing, I saw this on someone else's channel. It was a short where what they wanted, they had one thing going, but what happened was they had tried to, hold on, it's my phone. What they meant to do was they took a quartz crystal. Okay, now I don't remember what they were meant to do, but this is what happened. They took a quartz crystal in the shape of a pyramid and put it in a bowl. Okay, this is so cool. Now, he put the quartz crystal shape of a pyramid in a bowl with seawater, salt water. Okay, brine, salt water. Now, it wasn't the dirty green stuff that you get from the beach. Okay, it was salt water. He did two things. He let the salt water evaporate, dry out with no crystal, and it was little cubes of salt left over, tiny little cubes of salt. Now, what he did with the other one, he put the bowl, and it was like a more of a petri dish, right? Hey, Bob, and he put the quartz crystal in the seawater and tried to do something, but he forgot about it. It evaporated. All the little cube crystals were now in pyramid shape. They communicated with the quartz. The quartz is much more stable. Physically speaking, the quartz is much more stable. It has a stronger bond to itself. So, unlike salt, the salt crystals, which are crystals, the salt crystals, which are less bonded to each other, they're not as compact. Okay. Now, this is molecularly, physically speaking, they're more malleable, especially when there's water. Okay. But if you take a quartz crystal, you can do this. I want to do this. All right. I'm going to do this. Now, I'm gonna be forced to do it with salt, like table salt, non-iodized salt, right? And and my fresh water here. I'll mix it up. I don't have access to seawater very easy. Mm. So I'm gonna put those two together and I'm gonna set them in the windowsill for like 3 days. And then I'm going to look very close. This iPhone has an amazing zoom in for it, right? So I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to look at the shape of the crystals because I have quartz here. And now, what observed happening, right, is the quartz is structured very solidly, very sturdily, unlike the salt crystals, which are loosely, they're malleable, right, when in water. But the quartz, not so much. It's very strong, very stout stuff. And the crystals, okay, the quartz has a vibe. It vibed through the water, not on a physical level. Maybe on a physical level, that part wasn't observed, right? But on a quantum energetic level, the quartz communicated to the salt, and it formed its own shape in the water as the crystals went together. As the crystals went together, they had instruction to go together, how to go together. Marine salt from a pet store. Good idea. That sounds like a good idea. I can do that. Pet stores all over the place. So that is clear communication ability. Clear. There is no doubt about it. Where would that shape come from? Okay, I'm not assuming anything. Put the crystal in the water, in the salt water. Let the water evaporate. Examine the salt. It was the same shape as that crystal over there. And I was just comparing the two types of crystals, malleable, which is the salt, and not malleable, which is the quartz. And we know. We don't need science to tell us. But you can look at it. Hit a quartz with a laser straight up. You'll see the movement in it. Okay, that actually brings it down to our level, to the visible light level. It's nuts. I love it. And the quartz was communicating to the salt to form its own thing. So another reason why I love crystals so much, especially quartz and amethyst. I got one, right? So yeah, that's one of the greatest tools is a quartz crystal. Okay, amethyst, whatever you like, but they're all tuned. All right, next thing I wanted to talk about in this topic of energy healing and making sure you're okay are the things that we put into our bodies, right? A lot of these, I talk about multivitamins and supplements. I do, and I use those, right? But you got to be aware of what they are. Now, there is this one method, and I've talked about this. It takes two people, right? You take whatever it is, you put it in your dominant hand, okay? And then you go like this with your non-dominant hand, and you have someone pull apart these two fingers. If it's hot, now you don't yank their hand open, right? You pull it apart gently, and if it comes apart easily, this is not in line with your vibration. If it stays together, now you're supposed to resist. If it stays together, it is in line with your energy, and it's good for you. Now that is to see if a thing that you would eat is good for you. Herbs are really good. Witchy people, we've known this forever. The food stuff forever. Chinese, African, they all know this too. Norwegian, they know about this. Scotland, Ireland, it goes way back, right? It goes way back. Yeah, Bob, I got the Alien Girl 111, the bodies, the documents, the craft, and together we drink coffee and push buttons. But heck yeah, Amy is here in spirit all the time. 18 in the chat. Hey everybody, thanks for coming. Hit like, subscribe if you aren't. I won't wreck your YouTube feed, I promise. But likes are always good. Passes those vibes around that you like the show. Okay, and a physical representation. And okay, back on it, right? I like to do herbs. I add herbs to everything. Every cup of coffee I drink, if I can manage it, has honey, cinnamon, turmeric, and some creamer. Right now, the creamer is not the best thing for me, but that's a healing spell every cup, right? Every cup. And it's coffee, so it's a light stimulant. I don't brew it too strong. Hey, angels. Thanks for coming by, angels. I appreciate it. It's great to see you here. Talking about self-healing. And, okay, now, I do those herbs. but there's garlic, there is bay leaf, there's all kinds of this stuff, right? It's an education unto itself. And the kind of food you eat. I've learned that there are hot foods and cold foods. Now, I don't mean spicy versus not spicy, right? There are hot foods and cold foods, and a lot of them you wouldn't consider, like cayenne pepper is not a hot food, okay? It's hot to taste, but energetically, it's cold. And it's kind of in the middle, right? But it's more on the cold side of things. Though it does taste spicy, hot spicy, it's not bad for you. Jalapeno, that's not so good for you, right? It will actually wound you on the inside. It's chemically wounding you. And I used to love jalapenos, but I just can't eat them anymore. But anyway, the foods you eat, the hot and cold, things like lettuce, leafy greens, most of the leafy greens are cold. Okay. And I'm going to stick to the natural stuff, not the processed foods that I know about. Hey, Marvin, welcome back to the Quantum Show. Got 20 in the chat. Awesome. Or 20 watching. That's amazing. I love it, y'all. Thank you. Shout out to my new subs, my new subscribers. Got a handful this week. Thank you so much. I'm glad you found yourself here. And I say it, if you're here, you're quantum. Proxy quantum is still quantum. Okay. So different foods, and you got to make sure it's good to begin with. Okay. Can't be left out. Can't be left out, proper food handling, things to make it not sickly, keep it healthy for you. Proper food handling. It's something Texas does pretty good. They teach their people, whoever works in a restaurant, they got to have a food handler's card. And they are pretty thorough. Simple, but thorough. But it doesn't take much, right? It doesn't take much to be simple and thorough at the same time when it comes to food safety. And I have down here method, how you cook it. Don't be angry when you cook. Don't have any of the bad feelings, jealousy, rage. Don't have any of that when you cook. If you manage to not sling it across a room from being angry at it, be happy. Think good thoughts. Seriously, those vibes radiate from you all the time. All your vibes radiate from you. And it gets in what you're making, be it food, be it projects, be it whatever. If you're changing your oil and you're pissed off about it, it's not going to be that great. If you're changing your oil and you're like, oh, yeah, this car's awesome. I love doing this. While you cuss the bolt that's stuck, right? It's going to do better. Talk to, and good vibes all around, right? Now, at the heart of all of this is meditation and manifestation. The heart of all of this. When you are able to focus yourself, calm yourself. That's what I was in Bigfoot, Long Island Bigfoot's channel just a little while ago, and I go there before the show. It's convenient that he's live before now because his show is calm and chill, no big background noise, very meditative. I love going there before this show. And right moments before the show, I sit here and I breathe and I listen and I feel my heart beat and I do the 2-minute meditation. It's so good. And it helps me stay on topic when there is a topic. Okay. That's part of the method that I have written down here. Meditation and focus, right? Manifestation. This is going to be a great show. This is a great show. This is a great show. That makes it a great show, right? So that's the energy healing, okay? I'm not a doctor. not a health specialist. And ultimately, you are responsible for your energy levels. If it takes coffee, great. It takes me coffee. It doesn't even take coffee. Coffee is a luxury. You know, I can still do it. I have done it, and I found a lot of these things, they happen by accident. I didn't intentionally have a Kundalini awakening that day. It was the nuttiest thing ever. Of all, I mean, it's one more ultra nutty, awesome, high power thing that I've been through. And it was, I had never felt so good. I have not been able to get back to it. But there is a meditation. I did all this by accident. I was drinking water, of all things, water. And I didn't realize what I was doing. I had activated my Kundalini. It was amazing. And I can't get back to that mindset to explain it. I can't explain that mindset. Uh, so I don't know if it was an embedded thought, something in the back of my head, something higher self. I'm not sure, but it happened. I feel better for it. Better than I know it's there. I was worried about it not being there because you. It's kind of like fitting in, but fitting in with with the spiritual. Why is this not happening to me when it seems to be happening to these other people? That's the ego, that's insecurity. It doesn't help. Let it go. I let it go. I don't care if it happens. Whatever happens, happens. Bring it on, and it did, and that did it. It all started happening. Raven, it is amazing. Kundalini, and I don't think it was even all the way open, right? Because Kundalini is when you energize your root and sacral and have it go up to your crown. Okay. Something else I want to talk about a little bit. Now, as everyone knows, okay, but okay, Kundalini, it goes all the way, and it did that. And I could feel it go everywhere, and everything was, I felt like I was glowing. I really did. The Kundalini awakening, and it wasn't even all the way open. Okay. It was just partly going. And I felt like I was glowing, like I was vibrating. I felt, and I had only been drinking water, not even any coffee. It's not the substance, it's the balance. And that was one of, I want to say it's the trippiest experience ever, but it isn't. They're all the trippiest experience ever. It's like an order of magnitude cooler to do all this stuff all the time. And they're all an order of magnitude versus mogul life right here and now. And it's something else I wanted to talk about. Now I finished that thought, right? Is chakras, energy centers. Okay. Now we have some main ones, but they're all over us. Okay. And they're all connected like pipes. In order to move energy from one to another, you have to displace it and let it get out of the way. Different energies have different tunes, have different frequencies. And if you put one in one that it doesn't go to, then it's going to change that tune. And you don't, and you want, it takes time. You heal, they get back to a norm. And someone wanted to educate me about how to do these. I don't do new things that I don't have any experience with and talk about it here. If I do a new thing this week, I want to get experience doing that before I start talking about it because I want to know it works, or I want to know what effect it has. And yeah, so thank you. You know who you are. I need to I need to have experience in it before I talk about it. Now, if somebody else publishes something, I'll say, hey, isn't that interesting? Let's look at this article or picture or something. But I'm not going to say it works until I know it works or what effect it has. chakras. Okay, there is this one method. I tried it. It works. Here's the thing, right? Imagine an ice tray. Our chakras are an ice tray. Each one has a tray. They're all connected to each other. Now, when we want to fill up one, we get the little bit of water to fill up one. And then it starts to spill a little bit over to the other two, right? This is how we as humans, and not being professionals at this, and not being spirit guides, because Xena knows how to do it, okay? How we do it, we basically pour water over the whole ice tray and let it flood to where it needs to go. Oh, yes. Thank you, Marvelous Marvin. Hooked me up with a buy me a coffee. Damn, man. Thank you so much. I have to look at it. I'm not into the website just yet. Let me see if I can. Well, I can't get to the website right now, but I did get the notification. Thank you so much, bro. I appreciate it. I'm glad you find this to be a value of something, right? and and that's awesome. Thank you. I'm looking. I'm not. I don't have a thing to bring up on screen, right? Except for this. I have this on screen. I can bring this up. I'm at StreamYard. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. I have to go check it soon and see what it's all about, right? And let me see here. Okay. And the chakras, we basically energize everything and let it flow to where it needs to go. The spirit, the experts, the people who know how to do this. Okay, let me back up a little bit. The reason we do that is because we don't have a good feedback of what is strong and what is weak. We're hoping you can feel it, but it's such a small in the back of your head feeling for me anyway that I can't tell if it's right or if it's off or if it's not quite full, you know? So I basically energize everything so everything gets plenty and the rest of it will go where it needs to go or dissipate. Okay. Now, when we do ourselves, we are not closed systems. Okay. We are not an isolated circuit. We are linked in. We are quantum. That's where a lot of this stuff comes. It does come from that. Okay. So when you energize yourself, you're not taking energy out and putting it back in. You're taking energy, you're basically channeling. You're grabbing on to your surrounding environment and everything that's good, you're having it pull into you and go where it needs to go with the chakras all the way. I told you about the lady at the gas station. She had been having some problems, and I instinctively said, stand in front of me, and turn to the side." And I never touched her, right? Put my hand from the back of her head all the way down to the base of her spine, and I felt some cold spots. It wasn't the air conditioner. It wasn't a breeze. There was no fan blowing. The fan was on the other side of the gas station. And I went and I was just feeling, and I could feel cold spots. And I double checked myself. Still cold spots. It was in her upper back and her middle back. So, or lower middle back. So I said, okay, let's do this again. Now I'm switching gears and I'm going to push energy out. And I did that. And I could see her face go, just her face changing, that she could tell something was happening. And she turned around and says, and she got a stoned look on her face, okay, that she told me, I could feel where your hand was. I was like, mm-hmm. She flaked out. Not then, overall, in general, she flaked out. But she did feel it. She could tell. I could tell sometimes. And that was one of those times. It was instinctively, it just clicked to turn on and do this now. We are not closed systems. I was not giving her my energy. I was giving her universe energy, quantum energy. And when I call it quantum, I say I am bringing it in from everywhere, from reality, hyperspace, dark matter. Sure, why not? Say it that. Say whatever you like. And I was able to bring that in. Same thing when we heal our own chakras. Okay, it starts out our energy, but we're open, and we know we're open. So it comes in because it wants to come in. Oh, the universe says, oh, energy is needed here. Let's put some there. What's in the available area? Do I need to import some? Let's do that. Universe has an abundance of it. And we are fine-tuned. And we can use it anytime we want. You just have to know that it's there. Literally. And let it happen. It is so cool to be able to do this stuff. Okay. Chat room is on fire. You guys are talking up storms. You got 21 people watching. Let me back up a little ways. Let me see here. Bob, you were not born to lose. Stop it. You were not born to lose. You are just as quantum as anyone here. And thank you again, Marvelous Marvel, for the buy me a coffee. That's awesome. Support the show. Everything goes back into things to run the show. Even if it's new sticky pads or tablets. Okay. Luckily, it's Dollar Tree stuff. Witching doesn't have to be expensive. Magic isn't expensive. We're not in Middle Earth, right? Okay, going back. No, you're not born to lose, Bob. Stop it. And Tim, I was born on Camp Lejeune water. Born from Camp Lejeune water. We all got something, dude, for real. And let's see here. To bring something back from this life, I would like to hear clarification on that. Oh, and everybody, let me say I'm sorry because I got invited to 2 or 3 different shows and I tried to get in touch. I got sick. The universe had other plans. I wasn't allowed to go to Gatlinburg. I wasn't allowed to be online for very long last week or stay focused. I was allowed to go to bed. That's what reality said. You're sick. We're gonna, and here's the deal. It's not about the universe has it out for me. The universe has it out for my best interest. And if one outweighs the other, they'll make that happen in order to guide me to that where I need to go. It works like that for me. Hopefully it works. It's relatively straightforward, but it's easy to forget perspective on that. It really is. Okay, I'm still reading the chat. That's okay. Oh, hey, Poner. I didn't see you come in. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. I would have said hi. Hey, Poner. Energy. Poner is talking about energy. What are we healing? General healthiness. Because I am still recovering from a bladder infection. And it was rough. But it was very telling. Because I could tell it had been held off for a while. And I don't know if it was higher self, Xena, the universe, whatever, saying, okay, it's now time for this to happen. Because they did, and it happened. Right? Yes. Energy healing and maintenance. Okay? Plenty of water, electrolytes, good food. regular eating, okay? Yeah. So I'm looking at everything here. Okay, I'm gonna just scroll to the bottom. See. Yes, positive energy. Be nice. Be friendly. Give the random compliment. Tell somebody in the grocery store who looks like they're having not that great of a day, right? Just go up to them, doesn't matter who it is, and compliment them on their shirt, their pants, their shoes, their hat, whatever, their hair. Nice necklace, nice earrings. I love that so much. Oh, love that you have it. Have a good one. You know, I've done that and it is transformative. I mean, just something simple like that. You don't have to buy nothing, and you get to feel a little weird, but that's okay. Let yourself feel weird. And okay, right. I don't know what we were talking about at the moment, but yeah, I don't know what we were talking about at the moment, angels, but there it is. And yeah, maintaining your own health. We got a lot of outside distraction. Okay, a lot of outside distraction. And a lot of those distractions come from us feeling a need somewhere, and we go to look for those distractions. We look for what feels good, what makes us feel better about ourselves. That's what we do. And if there's a need there, loneliness, hunger, uh, different kinds of loneliness, okay, insecurity, fear, all those things cause us to look outward for something that's here. It's all here. It's really hard to keep that perspective. I get it. It's difficult when all about here is so easily accessible and so obvious to us, and in here is not. It doesn't seem to be. You have to meditate, manifest, and trust the process. It will help. And then when we go looking for something to make ourselves feel better, be it coffee, company, whatever, that's when we get distracted by all the other things. It's never one thing. It's always a whole bunch of stuff that is thrown in our faces. Traffic, weather, people, animals, bright colors, shiny objects, flashing lights. Those things all mess with us. And it takes a lot of effort to not. And what I do is I adapt to avoid most of that stuff. Not avoid, but tune out. We all do this. Well, I think we all tune out. Talking to somebody in a crowded room, everybody's talking. You focus on one person, the rest of it you're not focused on, so you're dismissing. And oh yeah, Cindy, I will put this up there and make it last forever. Put a crystal of Celtic salt under your tongue. Drink a glass. Oh, I misread. I saw a gallon of water. Like what? Yes, it kickstarts the process, and sometimes that's all it needs is a nice, good kickstart. And Celtic salt. I don't know what it is about Celtic salt, but it is really good stuff. I don't know what it is. I've got some. I got my sister some. I don't know what it is about it, but it does what people say it does. It amplifies. It is a conductor when it's in water, semiconductor when it's in water, conductor, straight up conductor. And oh, that salt water thing, I want to do that. I want to get two like bowls, put a quartz crystal over here and nothing over here. Put the wildlife salt that Joe was talking about and put it in there and let it evaporate. See what shapes they take and forget about them. See what shapes they take in about 2 days. I want to see that happen. I've got a thank you to Raven hooked excuse me, hooked me up with a lot of crystal ability over here, okay? I'm going to put something together and shout out to Raven McMinn. She is in the chat listening or has gone away for a minute. She'll be back. There she is. I've got some, Raven. I've got some. I've got it in the kitchen. It's okay. I don't need any. So, uh, Raven is starting her YouTube show soon. As soon as I get a link, it will live here in the show. I suggest highly like and subscribe and push her numbers all the way up. She is thinking about how to make it work and what content to have, what goes along with having a YouTube channel. And yeah, I'm again going back to another thing. I'm sorry to everyone who invited me on. I got sick. It just wasn't meant to happen. Not this week. Maybe next week. I hope. Maybe this coming couple days. Who knows? I don't know. But yeah, shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you for being here. Oh man, y'all don't realize it makes a person feel so good when they do something dumb like this this thing, right? And you show up and you stick around and you make yourself known. Just even if you don't hit like and subscribe, just being here. I see the chat scrolling down and it helps. It motivates. Says I'm not wasting everyone's time. Mine, y'all's, nobody's time. Well, thank you, Raven. Yeah, there's a few technical things that need to be ironed out, but after that, it's going to be easy. Well, no, Joe, you didn't try. You accomplished, and I don't know what to thank you for the opportunity for me to help. That's how I look at stuff. What I do last week, I was feeling bad and talked about how I'm healing myself up. Right? Thank you for giving me the opportunity to help. Really. And I'm glad things worked out. Things did work out, and I'm glad about that. Okay, now, really quick, since I have, we got a few more minutes. Till the end of this part, right? Ghost activity is up in the house. Okay, heard the door again, every time again. Now, when I'm laying here at night, not so much stuff has been happening lately. This has all been during the day. The room next to me, where sister is, right? Stepsister. They don't let her put anything on the wall. Nothing. It all falls off. Every time. It all falls off. She needs to do some of this stuff too. So bad. She's letting all the distraction get to her, guide her, and it's just not good at all. She's weak and weak. I have always been here for her, but she doesn't see that. That's okay. That's not on me. I made myself available. That's all I can do. Be helpful. That's all I can do. Provide a good example. I'm not going to tell her what to do. She's a grown ass woman, right? So, yeah, coming soon in 4K, 0.4K, 0.4K. Oh, and let me say, Raven's show is going to be awesome because she's got good hardware. Okay, she doesn't know it. She's got good hardware, really good hardware over there. And yeah, see, I do this, give myself little notes to follow, not a script. And I'm still recovering from everything, right? I'm out of coffee. We are little over 50 minutes for the Quantum Solo tonight. And I want to shout out members of the Legion that I go to, Post 82, Booyah, Hoorah, and all that stuff, right? Some members over there have been watching the show. I hope you're watching tonight. Tonight was a very coherent show. And I'll see you next Friday at the Legion. Shout out to Post 82, right? Get somebody on the email where I can contact them. Let me chat to them. Leave them a message or something. No one's ever gotten back to me from there. I have to go over there or call. And that's okay too. That's fine. But coffee forever, food forever. Gotta love it over there. I actually sang a song. I didn't sing so much as recite the Dewdrop Inn doing karaoke yesterday. And I did okay, but I'm still a little short of breath and not very loud. Luckily, it's a speaking song. It's not a singing song. Or not extremely vocal. It's not nonsense, Joe. It's not nonsense. And my panel is not nonsense. Our panel is quantum, means random, means it goes everywhere and has no fear of going there. We just have to do community standards. That's all. We have to say none of the bad words here. But then I'm also on Rumble, which anything goes. And me and Amy are out of coffee. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up, okay? Everybody, thank you for coming to the Quantum Solo. We talked about, what do we go? Sensing a problem, connecting to yourself, using tools, methods, herbs, foods, all the things externally, but it's all manifestation, meditation. You gotta love yourself too. Let there be positivity. And that blew it. Nothing blew it. I'm just calling the hour a little few minutes early because I gotta get some coffee, still low energy, still recovering. But let me tell you, all the weird symptoms are gone, and I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I'm not going to get into it on any kind of public setting. Okay, it was crazy, and it was very scary, very unexpected. When you get a bad UTI, oh boy. Okay, anyway. LOL, community standards. Scoff, scoff, scoff. I did that too. I scoff at community standards. Oh my God. Thank you, Cindy. Peace out, y'all from Poner. Thank you, Samantha. And once again, thank you for the buy me a coffee. Holy cow, never expect that. I never expected it. Thank you so much, Marvin. Thank you so much. And that was, it's what we do, right? We can say, oh, I don't want to get into it right now. I need coffee. Okay. Thanks, everybody. I am going to shut this one down. And this has been good. This has been therapeutic. Even doing this helps me out. Will do, Lynn. Hit like and subscribe if you hear your quantum. If you rode in on a wave, you're here, Proxy Quantum. Still quantum. Thanks, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and hit the button. And talk to you soon. Hitting buttons. Pushing buttons. Pushing all those buttons. Watch for me about half an hour.